you have to know the basic structure of peptide bonds. Now, already you know that peptide bonds are the bonds which link up amino acids together in a protein. That is, amino acids link together through the formation of peptide bond in a protein molecule. So first let us look at the basic structure of amino acid. So if you have watched my previous lectures, I have already explained the basic structure of amino acid. So this carbon is called as alpha carbon. The alpha carbon has at one end an amino group, at the other end it has a variable R group, at the other end it has a carboxylic group. This is the carboxylic group attached to the alpha carbon, and it also has a hydrogen atom attached to it. So the alpha carbon has 4 different substituents attached on its 4 different sides: amino group, carboxylic group, hydrogen atom, and a variable group or the R group attached to the alpha carbon. So this is the structure of an amino acid. Now several amino acids of this structure link together with each other via formation of peptide bond. Now on the right hand side I have shown the formation of peptide bond between 3 amino acids. So this is the first amino acid, okay, this is the first amino acid, this is the second amino acid, this is the third amino acid. Alright, now if you have watched my previous lectures, I have told you that 2 amino acids link with each other via one peptide bond. Likewise, 3 amino acids link with each other via 2 peptide bonds. So in this way, n amino acids link with each other via n-1 peptide bonds. So here, because we have 3 amino acids, so there should be 2 peptide bonds. So let us see. So here this is one peptide bond that we have. This is the first peptide bond, CONH group, and this is the second peptide bond that we have. Okay, CONH bond is also called as an amide bond. So peptide bond is actually an amide bond. So because we are linking 3 amino acids together, so we have 2 peptide bonds. Now there is a unique feature present in the peptide bond. You know that nitrogen atom has lone pair, alright, because the valency of nitrogen is 5. So there is a lone pair on the head of nitrogen. So what happens? This lone pair will come here and this double bond will shift to the head of oxygen, resulting in resonance. So here the lone pair on nitrogen will come to this side, and the bond between double bond between carbon and oxygen will come to the head of oxygen, resulting in the formation of resonance. Here also the same case will happen. This lone pair that is present on the head of nitrogen, it will come over this bond, and one of the single bond will go to the head of oxygen. Alright, so this is called as resonance. Now because of this resonance, this C end bond has partial double bond character or PDC. Okay, so because of the presence of resonance, this C end bond has partial double bond character or PDC, and because of the presence of resonance, this is also sp2 hybridized, and so it is planar. Alright, so carbon nitrogen bond, because of the presence of resonance, it is shorter than the all other single bonds. So it is much shorter in length. The bond length is much shorter. Alright, here as you can see, this is the double bond between carbon and oxygen, and in the next step what happens, here you have the lone pair present over nitrogen. So this double bond, one of the bond of this double bond will go to the head of oxygen, and this lone pair on the head of nitrogen will come and sit over this bond between carbon and nitrogen. So what happens? here you get a double bond. See here you have a double bond between carbon and nitrogen, and the double bond between carbon and oxygen is converted to a single bond because nitrogen donates a lone pair, okay, to this bond. It becomes positively charged. Here you have positive charge on the head of oxygen, and because one of the bond of the double bond between carbon and oxygen is open and it is shifted to the head of oxygen, so oxygen now has a partial negative charge over it. Now here let us look at the three-dimensional structure of a peptide bond. Alright, so this is one alpha carbon atom, this is another alpha carbon atom. So this first alpha carbon atom is actually the alpha carbon of the first amino acid. This alpha carbon atom is actually the alpha carbon atom of the second amino acid. Now two amino acids are linked together via peptide bond. Now this bond, which you can see in this figure, this CN bond is actually the peptide bond. Alright, now this is the peptide bond which we are talking about. So this CN bond present between these two amino acids, this is the peptide bond, okay, and here this is the bond where you have the resonance, right? We know that in peptide bond we have a resonance. Alright, so this is the bond CN, bond between C and N. So this bond is actually the peptide bond where you have the resonance, and because of this resonance the bond length is shorter, okay, because of partial double bond character. You can easily see here between MC alpha the bond length is around 1.46 angstrom. Between C alpha C the bond length is around 1.51 angstrom, whereas the bond length between C and N, that is the peptide bond length, is the smallest, 1.33 angstrom. So among all the three bond lengths, the peptide bond length is the smallest. Why? Because we have a partial double bond character present in this bond, and that is why we have the shortest bond length among all the bond lengths present in this peptide molecule. Okay. Now we know that peptide bond is actually a type of amide bond. So the blue color plane that you can see, this is called as an amide plane. Why amide plane? Because this is the plane on which the peptide bond rests. So this is called as the amide plane. Alright, this is the plane on which the peptide bond rests. This blue color plane, light blue color plane, is actually the amide plane. Now one factor also you can notice here, this is the oxygen present in the peptide bond, and the hydrogen attached to the nitrogen of the peptide bond. So the oxygen is present upwards and hydrogen is present trans to it, that is on the opposite direction, downwards. Okay, because oxygen and hydrogen are placed trans towards each other, so this structure of peptide bond is called as trans peptide bond, because oxygen is present on the upside, hydrogen is present in the downside, so they are present opposite to each other. Okay, so this position is called trans position, and so such kind of peptide bond structure is called as trans peptide bond structure. Now I have already told you that the peptide bond, that is the carbon nitrogen bond, this bond, because of the presence of partial double bond character, it has resonance. That means what? This bond is sp2 hybridized. Okay, if this bond is sp2 hybridized, and so it is a planar bond. Alright, so it is a planar bond, and so this bond rests on the plane called as the amide plane. So this is the three-dimensional structure of trans peptide bond. So in protein molecule, the type of peptide bond that you will encounter is always trans peptide bond. Now in this figure you can see that how the peptide bonds link together in a protein chain. So this is one peptide bond where you have oxygen on the downside and hydrogen on the upside. In the second peptide bond you have oxygen on the upside, hydrogen on the downside. Then in the third peptide bond you have oxygen on the downside and hydrogen on the upside. So likewise the alternate oxygen and hydrogen, alternate positions of oxygen and hydrogen. And please look at the amide plane also, how the amide plane is also holding all the peptide groups. This is the amide plane here in this peptide bond. This is the amide plane here in this peptide bond. So the main strength structure of all the peptide bonds as seen in a protein molecule is depicted here along with the amide planes with the alternate positions of the oxygen and the hydrogen. So the red colored atoms that are shown here, these red color atoms are actually the oxygen of the peptide bond. These blue color atoms that are present on the peptide plane, these blue color atoms are actually the nitrogen atom of the peptide bond, and this white color bonds that are shown, these are actually the amide hydrogen which are placed opposite or in trans to the oxygen of the peptide bond. This figure is actually will help to clear the concept. So here as you can see, in the first peptide bond oxygen is present upwards, hydrogen is present trans to it here on the opposite side. In the second peptide bond, as you will see, the red colored atom oxygen is present downwards and the white colored atom hydrogen is present trans to it. Again on the third peptide bond oxygen, red colored atom oxygen is present upwards, hydrogen is present down to it in trans position. Again on the fourth peptide bond you have oxygen present on the downside and hydrogen on the upside. So alternate positions of oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen likewise. And here this blue atom that is shown, this is actually the nitrogen of the peptide bond which is always resting on the amide plane. So it will not move, it always sticks to the amide plane. So this blue colored atoms present on the plane, this is actually the nitrogen atom. Alright, now because of the partial double bond character in the here present between the carbon and nitrogen, here this is the peptide bond, so you cannot perform any rotation here, okay, because you have partial double bond character. So no rotation is possible in the peptide bond, that is the rotation between carbon nitrogen bond is not possible. So you cannot rotate this bond, alright, and it is always present fixed on the amide plane. So what you can do, you can only rotate the other two bonds. For example, you can rotate this bond C alpha C bond and this bond NC alpha. So these two bonds are rotatable because there you don't have any partial double bond character. These are only simple single bonds. So rotation is only permitted around the C alpha C bond and NC alpha bond. So these two bonds are the bonds on which rotation is permitted. Rotation is not permitted on the peptide bond. So no rotation in the peptide bond, that is no rotation possible between the bond present between carbon and nitrogen. Only rotation is possible between the bond present between C alpha C and NC alpha. So these two bonds are only rotatable. Alright. Now the bond angle present between NC alpha. So the bond angle present between NC alpha is designated as phi. So this bond angle is called as phi because it is rotatable, and the bond angle present between C alpha and C, okay, because this bond is also rotatable, this is called as psi. So we have we denote these two type of bonds, one between N and C alpha as phi and the other between C alpha and C as psi. So we have two bond angles present in the peptide bond. And the third bond that we have, the C and N, because it is non-rotatable, we do not have any bond angle there.